Hey. I thought I'd leave you a video since we can't FaceTime and you might be missing my face. You'll have finished up by the time you see this and I will still be sleeping, hopefully beyond 7 AM. Yeah, wishful thinking. I hope your shift went well today. Well as it can go. You're not in the car watching this, are you? If you are, then stop this video now, Frank. Do not look at any of your messages on your phone. Drive home, have a shower, eat something substantial, and then you can do all your catching up. I'll still be here when you're ready. You have to look after yourself, and sitting in your car for 30 minutes after your shift is not looking after yourself, okay? You said it yourself, you never have enough time to go home. And if you are watching this from home, then just ignore what I said. We miss you. Dad misses you. He's always asking after you like 10 times a day. We went out clapping tonight for you. Lily was out with a ladle and a pan. Nathan's choice of instrument was bashing the brand new 50-quid lightsaber, yet his birthday gift, off one of the plant pots from the front door. Dad came right out onto the street shouting your name over the clapping, telling my neighbours all about his son, the medic, saving lives. They were sweet to him. Even though he tells them the same thing every single day. They do that thing where they act like it's new information. It's good of them. Today was really hard. Sorry, that's really selfish. You're out there putting yourself at risk every single day and I'm here, safe at home, and I can't even do that, right? I shut myself in the utility cupboard today. I was on calls all morning with work and when I got off it was chaos. The kids were hungry and screaming and Dad was complaining that he'd have his lunch by now if he was still in his own house. I said to him, Dad, there are no carers. With lockdown they're short staffed, remember? And he just kind of looked at me with this blank expression, like, you know, when he knows he's forgotten. I feel terrible. I'm the one who brought him to live with me. The upheaval, the routine change, and he doesn't even know why or really what's going on in the world. He just kind of goes along with it. And all I do is get frustrated at him and then take it out on the kids. You know, he's been telling them the little tales that he used to tell us. Nathan loves the Lunar New Year animal race because he's the rat who won, and Lily's been drawing pictures of Jade the rabbit on the moon. I can't believe he hadn't told them these stories before. So I had this idea for lunch, right? I thought we could all have the bayo buns and we could make them together. Dad could tell the kids more stories and they would learn more about their granddad's culture and their heritage. Experimental homeschooling. What a brilliant plan, eh? So we get out the flour and the yeast and Dad starts telling the story of the Monkey King. You remember that one, right? It was always your favourite. Lily is measuring out the water and I'm getting all the ingredients together and Nathan is loving the story. He's acting it out with his lightsaber in hand. The Monkey King is obviously a Jedi. If I had my phone at that moment, it would have made a perfect Instagram-worthy photo. It was all going so well. I turn my back for a second to get the salt and I hear an almighty crash. I turned around and there was flour everywhere. Nathan had swung his lightsaber and the packet of flour had exploded. It's in Dad's hair, Lily's bowl of water, on the microwave, on the floor. The vegetable oil is dripping all over the worktop and Lily's now crying because the flour and the oil have like mixed together into this like sticky gloop and it's all over her cooking station. Dad is yelling at Nathan and then I just can't take it anymore. Any of it. So I told them that I was going to go get more flour, and I walked out the room. I got to the utility and I closed the door behind me. I can still hear them shouting and crying and yelling, and I just slowly sink down to the wall and make myself as small as I can. It's all noise. It's all just noise. I haven't felt like this in a long time. It takes me back to that flat on Saracen Street. Do you ever think of that place? That flat that we shared with the Lee family, who were our cousins supposedly, but we never saw them again after we moved out. All of us, you, me, Dad, Mum, Annie, Daniel, all crammed and huddled together in a tiny flat with another family while Dad was out working all the hours he could get by. He would work nights in the takeaway below. Remember we always had prawn crackers for breakfast? Daniel said he could enter the Guinness Book of World Records for the most prawn crackers eaten in a minute. I think he was about 5 at the time. We were older, so we knew what was going on. You'd always say to me that when you grow up you were going to get a proper job and you'd wear suits and ties and you wouldn't come home all sweaty and tired all the time. I said I'd buy a big house, a mansion all to myself so that I would have space just for me. And it would be so quiet. Silent. I thought it would be, I don't know, nice having Dad here. We could connect, father and daughter, like when I was a child. He never really was around, was he? We never talked back then or spent any time just the two of us. There are always things in the way. People, house moves, new schools, new jobs. There was never any quiet time. It was all just noise. Well, I have got a house with a utility room. Well, it's just a big cupboard, really, but I guess I kind of made it. And you? Well, you wear a uniform and you probably smell of hand sanitizer, so, you win some. I sat there for as long as I could. There was no more flour, but I already knew that. I counted to 10, breathing in and out slowly, and I made my way back to the kitchen. I could still hear them, but no screaming or shouting. It was still loud, but a different noise. I walked in and there's Dad, still slightly powdered in flour, drawing outlines of the animals on the worktop. Lily's laughing at Grandad's fat cat and Nathan's making little piles of flour into Star Wars sand dunes. Dad looks up, asks if I'm okay. He tells me I'm working too hard and I just smile and say I'm fine. We gathered up enough flour that still looked edible and we made the buns. They turn out lumpy and nowhere near as good as you can make them, but they were all right in the end. In the end. And so we all turned out, eh? Later, when I managed to chase the kids up to bed, Dad asks if we're going to go to the theatre. And I tell him soon. He starts talking about opening up the shop for Mum and Dad again. And if he gets time, then he's going to take the bike down to the sea for a swim. And I know at this point he thinks he's having a conversation with his sister. He thinks he's back in the country he was born in, thousands of miles from here, and I just go along with it. It's happening more often, but it's manageable for now. I got a message from the manager at the sheltered housing. They said they're going to reinstate Dad's care packages as of Monday. He'll get 3 care visits per day. I told Dad he can go back to the house next week if he wants to. He said he'd like to sleep in his own bed. He said living with me has been really nice, but it's all a little bit too noisy for him. Can you believe it? Anyway, I just thought I'd give you a little update on how we're all doing. I hope you're okay. Send Dad off to Steve and let me know when you're next off. Nathan and Lily would love to video call you.